I can't even believe some of the things that I am reporting on, Brian. These are children, some of them toddlers, right there in full evidence. And it seems that every day we find out even more about this horrendous crime.
I'm very interested, Ashleigh, in the 32 cell phones you mentioned that are registered to that address. The addresses on the cell phone accounts, all 32 of them register back to that ranch address. What does that mean, especially when you bring in the fact that there are a high number of child sexual predators that live right in that area near where the ranch is? I mean, you put the pieces of the puzzle together, everything you've talked about that was found inside the house, the drugs, the pictures of young children in lewd positions, the chains that were tied up on the ground. It was clearly some kind of torture house. And then you wonder why cell phones would be registered there from 32 different people and that there's this high number of sexual predators in the area. I think we're going to find out a lot more now that they're finally investigating all of this.
I'm going to ask you in a second, Brian, if you will read the letter that Jesse McFadden wrote to the judge, begging to get out of prison early, promising he was going to be such a good boy. I'm going to ask you that in a moment. And while you're getting that letter ready, I want to let our audience know what the Oklahoma newspaper has unearthed today about Jesse McFadden and his background, that he was a member of the Klan. In 2005, he told a corrections case manager not to house him any further with black people. The records show, quote, "I was raised around the Klan. A lot of my family is Klan. I'm a racial person," he wrote. This according to the Oklahoma newspaper. They also are reporting the multiple sex offenses that he committed in prison. The first one in 2009, caught naked in his cell with another inmate. The next one in 2010, another inmate accused him of raping him. McFadden admitted to the sexual relationships with the inmate, disciplined internally. In 2013 and 2016, two separate offenses with a clandestine cell phone. And on that cell phone, child porn. He was standing trial for that, never made it to the first day of his actual case. And in another instance, he stole $80,000 from his own grandfather's safe. I mean, this is just an unbelievable, despicable human being. What is it that he said to the judge to try to convince the judge that he was nothing other than a despicable human being?
Yeah, so he wrote this letter, Ashleigh, trying to convince the judge to let him out of jail, despite everything you just read, admitting to raping and having another sexual relationship with an inmate in jail. He wrote this letter. I'm going to read it to you, to the judge. He said, "I do know that there is a lot of pain and suffering and that I was the cause of that pain. I sit and think about how I can change what I've done, but no matter how much I'd like to, there's no changing the past. So the future is all that's left to me. I'd like to get out and prove that I have changed and am a better person. I also have to take a drug rehabilitation class, even though it wasn't a program that was required because I had a problem with drugs and alcohol. When I can find a facility with a sex offenders course, I will be taking that also." So that was a letter to the judge, but remember his violent history in jail. And then I was thinking back to the roommate who you interviewed last week, who was in the cell with him, who said he had to sleep with one eye open. So clearly what he was writing to this judge was not reality.
Yeah, no kidding, because 7 people, him included, were found dead on that farm, and who knows if maybe others might be. Those excavators were brought in. Who knows what they unearthed? The ME is not reporting, not saying anything, and nor are the state authorities. Brian Entin, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.